Emily again, and in this video I'll be teaching you how to code locally on your Mac. So this is the method of coding that I like to use the most because it's great because it's offline. So that means you can do it without any lag whatsoever, and you can do it wherever you want. You're not constrained by your 4G connection or anything like that. There are two main tools for doing this. You'll have to download the Mac OS X developer tools, which basically just gives you a C compiler called GCC so you can turn your code files into a program. And the next tool you'll need is to use a text editor of your choice, and there are tons available for the Mac. So to start coding on your Mac, you'll have to download the Mac OS X developer tools, which will basically help you download a C compiler so you can turn those .c files into a program you can run. So there are two ways of downloading these tools. The first is through your handy terminal applications. So go to terminal, and then you'll have to type in the following command: xcode -select space 2 hyphens and install. So the important thing here is that you just have 2 hyphens before the install and the space in between select and the hyphens. Then you click enter, and you'll get a pop-up that says Xcode Selects wants to download the tools. Click install, agree, and let the computer do the work for you. So while this is downloading, I'll show you the other way to get the tools. Another way to get the tools is through the Mac App Store. So go to the top left corner, click on App Store, and in the top right corner, just type in Xcode and click enter. So once it's loaded, you'll see here are all the search results for Xcode, and the one we want is the first result over here on Xcode, so we click on that. And you'll see this come up. Xcode is actually a bunch of tools, and it has its own text editor, and you can compile within the program. And it's quite a large program, so I wouldn't recommend downloading it. It's actually very large a file, and you can download the tools without actually downloading Xcode. However, if you do find you're having problems with the command line tools via terminal, then this is another option. Just click on Get, and you can download Xcode. For now, I will X out of the App Store, and we will download the command line tools using the terminal. So as you can see, the software takes a while to download. That's alright. For now, I'll tell you about the second thing you need to code on your Mac, which is a plain text editor. So you want something that doesn't format what you type in. So you can't just use Word or Pages like you might use to type up your assignments. That actually has a lot of formatting. You want to have something that's a plain text editor, such as gedit that you use in the labs. You can notice how when you type things in, there's no formatting at all. They might have some syntax highlighting to help you, but there's no actual formatting of your text. And for the Mac, there are a bunch of different types of software you can download for that. Let's go to Safari, and I'll show you some of the options. If you just Google, let's go to Google, and if you type in text editor Mac, you'll see that there are a bunch of options available to you. I would recommend a graphical text editor if you are just starting out with programming, because it would look like an application that you're used to. You don't have to work with the command line or the terminal or memorize too many shortcuts. You can look up the reviews for any of them that you want. I'll tell you what I've heard of. So Sublime Text is one that's quite popular, and it's one that I like to use because Sublime Text is very popular, and it has a pretty nice interface. As you can see, it's got a nice black background, which is nice on your eyes, and there are actually a lot of custom features that you can delve into as you grow as a coder. And there are a lot of custom features that you can use as you grow as a coder. Well, let me just start over for this one.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So Sublime Text is another popular text editor, and it's the one that I personally like to use because there are nice themes and there are lots of features that you can explore that might help you as you grow as a coder. Another one that's popular and that is often compared to Sublime Text is Atom. So Atom, as you can see, kind of looks like Sublime Text, but it has some other different features as well. I'm not quite sure about the nuances between the two, and you can see and look up lots of articles comparing the two if you want. Some other options are Text Wrangler. So this one is simpler than Sublime Text and Atom and be more similar to gedit that you're used to in the labs. So Text Wrangler is simpler than Sublime Text and Atom, and it would be more similar to gedit, which you're used to in the labs. I actually have the application here, so I'll show you. You can register the product in your own time, and you can just type like you would. And it does line numbers, and it has syntax highlighting. We will close that one. And the last one I want to show you is that there is actually gedit for the Mac. So we'll type in gedit Mac and do a Google search for that. And you can see from the first result that you can actually download gedit for the Mac. However, since you are on the Mac, you have all these options for a bunch of text editors with different themes and customization features. I would recommend you look into other ones because if you're doing a lot of coding, if you're working on larger projects later on, you might like the features of some of the other editors. For now, let's suppose we're using Sublime Text, which is what I like to use. So we'll X out of Safari. We'll see that the software has been installed for command line tools. That's great. That just tells us that now we can use GCC to compile our files. So let's try that out with our test file. So on my desktop, I have a Coding is Awesome file. And let's just try opening up hellomac.c. I'll right click on it, click on Open With, and choose Sublime Text. Over here I have my program. You can see I can still add lines. It highlights the syntax for me so I can see the difference between the printf and then the string inside as an argument. So I'll say I am using Sublime Text. I will save the file. And then I can go back to my terminal. And to compile on my terminal, I will have to navigate to the folder that this is stored in on my computer, on my Mac. So this is similar to how in the labs, you'll probably have to navigate to your Lab 01 folder and then compile from there. So if I type in ls, I can see what kind of folders I have in this folder. I stored Coding is Awesome on my desktop. So I type in cd desktop, click enter, type in ls to see what's there. I have my Coding is Awesome. So I type in cd code. And a nice trick is that I can start typing in the name and just click tab to autocomplete since there are no other folders with the same name. So it knows that if I type in COD, the folder I'm referring to is Coding is Awesome. So I click enter, type in ls again, and there's my file, hellomac.c. So now that I have the Xcode command line tools, I can compile using GCC. Note that this is different to the DCC you use in labs. The first letter is different. However, they are both compilers that turn your .c file into a program. So with GCC, you just type in GCC and a space. Use your small o flag again to specify your output file. Let's just call it Hello Mac to link it closely with the .c file it is compiling. Put a space, and the last file is the .c file you want to compile, so hellomac.c. Click enter. We don't have any error messages, and you can see in the Finder over here, you have this small executable. So that's the program that we can run. And if we just go back to our terminal, we click /hellomac, which is the name of the output file we created with GCC, and then click enter, and you'll see all the output. So there you have it. You can code on your Mac with the text editor, and you compile using terminal and GCC.
Congratulations, you have now finished all the steps in setting up home computing on your Mac. So to summarize again, the first thing you had to do was learn how to connect to CSC servers so you can get your lab files, work on them, and then submit them back onto CSC servers. The second thing is file transfers, which really helps with moving your files between the servers and the Mac. And the third thing is learning how to code and compile locally so you can do so anywhere you want. So now you can code all day long in your sweatpants at home without even having to come into uni. So I hope you found these videos to be very helpful. If you still have any questions, please feel free to ask your friendly tutor and also the course forum, because someone will always be there to answer your questions. Thanks for watching.